Hey there, and welcome to this explainer. I am so thrilled you're joining us today because we're tackling something absolutely crucial. We're going to explore some legendary concepts from the late Patrick Winston, MIT professor, AI pioneer, specifically looking at his famous teachings on how communication actually creates success. So get ready because this is going to completely flip the way you think about sharing your knowledge with the world.
So, why do brilliant ideas often lose to, well, average ones? Honestly, it's a tragedy. We see it literally everywhere, in businesses, in classrooms, throughout history. These massive game-changing ideas fail simply because they couldn't be heard. Now, a lot of presenters might start a topic like this with a joke to kind of warm up the room, but Winston taught something totally different. He taught that great speakers don't open with a joke, they open with a promise. And so my promise to you today is that by the end of this explainer, you'll understand exactly why some ideas survive while others just disappear, and how you can build the delivery system your own brilliant ideas actually deserve.
Check out this quote from Winston. He put it bluntly: your success in life is determined largely by your ability to speak, your ability to write, and the quality of your ideas, in that order, right? There's some real cognitive dissonance happening there. We all naturally want to believe that the quality of our ideas is the absolute number one thing, but Winston places it third. He kind of forces us to wake up and realize that communication isn't just some, pretty decoration you slap on after you've done the hard thinking. No, communication is the actual delivery system of thought. Without it, your brilliant ideas remain entirely private. And just to give you a quick roadmap, here's what we're looking at today. We'll cover why good ideas fail, then how practice beats raw talent, guiding attention, why you need to stop hiding behind slides, and finally, making ideas unforgettable. And there's a quick meta lesson right here, by the way. Giving an audience clear structural landmarks like this makes them feel safe. It tells them we have a solid plan for our journey together.
Okay, let's dive into this. Section 1, Why Good Ideas Fail, the Tragedy of Silenced Brilliance. The absolutely crucial point to grasp here is that raw logic simply isn't enough. I mean, Aristotle argued way back when that persuasion requires reason, for sure, but it also demands character and emotion. Dale Carnegie taught us that connection has to precede information. Maya Angelou famously noted that people remember how your words made them feel. And of course, Steve Jobs proved time and time again that simplicity wins over complicated explanations. A brilliant mind without the ability to communicate is basically like sending a brilliant student out into the world without any tools or armor. Your idea has to enter the human heart, not just the human mind. Which brings us to Section 2, Practice Beats Raw Talent, Dismantling the Destiny Myth. We so often buy into this myth of talent. We see someone like Mary Lou Retton winning a gold medal, and we completely worship that visible, perfectly polished result. We think, wow, natural gifts. But the reality? The reality is the unglamorous, gritty grind of practice. Think about Kobe Bryant's absolute, unwavering obsession with the fundamentals. Practice is invisible repetition. It's the slow accumulation of knowledge. And honestly, if you're not a naturally gifted speaker, that struggle is actually your biggest advantage. It forces you to study what works, to build real techniques, and to practice relentlessly until you get it right. Moving right along to Section 3, Guiding the Audience's Attention, Earning and Keeping Focus. Human attention is incredibly fragile. I mean, some studies even suggest our average attention span is shorter than a goldfish's. And because people inevitably fog out and drift away, great communicators don't get angry at their audience. They design their presentations around that reality. They use a very specific toolkit. Step 1, open with a promise. Like we discussed, a promise gives your talk a definitive reason to exist. Step 2, cycle ideas through repetition, because people miss things. Returning to an idea from a fresh angle gives them a chance to catch back up. Step 3, create tension with questions. The human mind naturally craves closure, right? So a question makes people lean forward. And Step 4, use pauses for emphasis. Silence lets the sentence land. Both Barack Obama and Martin Luther King Jr. completely understood the profound moral weight of silence. Too many speakers are just terrified of it, but a deliberate pause lets the audience feel the exact weight of what was just said. All right, shifting into Section 4, Stop Hiding Behind Slides, the minimalist approach. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is it marks our shift into the most visually crucial part of our explainer. Drawing heavily on the philosophies of presentation experts like Edward Tufte and Gare Reynolds, we can clearly see this contrast. Bad slides are just cluttered transcripts driven by the speaker's fear of forgetting what to say. They're packed with distracting lasers and logos. Good slides, on the other hand, utilize open space. They use simple arrows for focus. They're driven by curiosity.
Winston pointed out that we only have one language processor in our brains. So if your slide has absolutely everything on it, the audience is just going to read the screen and you, the speaker, become completely unnecessary noise. Your slide should be a visual condiment, not the main meal.
Seth Godin hit the nail right on the head here when he said most bad slides are fear made visible. Let that sink in for a second. Speakers put every single word on the screen out of pure fear. But remember, your audience did not come to an event just to read your notes. They came to hear you.
Finally, we reach Section 5. Making ideas unforgettable. Surviving the exit door. Brilliant thinkers like the Heath brothers and Simon Sinek talk about giving your audience what we call the handle. It's basically a cognitive shortcut that makes an idea sticky and portable so people can take it with them. You build a handle using 3 main ingredients: a symbol, which gives the idea a physical shape, a slogan, which compresses it down into a catchy, memorable phrase, and surprise, which shakes the mind awake and injects the idea with energy. But here's the catch. A handle isn't really enough on its own. You have to situate it inside a story. Drawing on Joseph Campbell's classic framework, a story guides the listener through a clear sequence: facing a problem, crossing a threshold, enduring some kind of struggle, making a discovery, and finally, the return. When you place an idea inside a narrative arc like this, it creates a mental simulation for the listener. And human beings learn significantly faster from mental simulations than they ever do from just hearing abstract explanations. It's like a giant puzzle clicking into place.
Now, when it comes to wrapping up, most people use the polite fade out. They end on a slide that just says questions, completely wasting the most valuable real estate in the room and honestly weakly asking for approval. Instead, we need the contribution ending. Following Winston's cardinal rule, we're skipping the generic thank you right now and instead returning to our purpose, showing what was done and delivering a final gift.
So, here is the final contribution of this explainer. At its absolute best, communication isn't manipulation. It's a service to the truth. Communication is generosity. It's the profound act of helping another human being see something more clearly than they ever saw it before. Winston warned that ideas are a lot like your children. You really don't want them going out into the world in rags. They need care and structure after they're born. So, I'm going to leave you with this final lingering thought. Will you let your brilliant ideas just disappear into silence, or will you build the delivery system they truly deserve? The choice and the practice is entirely up to you.